Our Wendy's Male Athlete of the Week from Shawnee Heights Soccer this week, a junior who was named All UKC defenseman in his junior season, helped the T-Birds reach the third place finish in the 5A state tournament. David Skinner is our guest. And David, let's start there with the state tournament this past week, getting a third place finish for Shawnee Heights. Take me through what the state tournament was like playing in the third place game. Just kind of give me a run through of what that experience was like for you.
It was a lot different from last year because we lost 14 seniors at the end of last season. They all graduated. So this year our whole team was just primarily juniors and sophomores with only 5 seniors. And so we had to deal with that a lot this season. We had a lot of unexperienced players, and our coach talked about it at our banquet last night. He said we're one of the most easygoing groups he's ever dealt with. We're a lot less serious than last year's group, but we still end up getting the job done.
How much does that help to have that kind of easygoing attitude? Do games just feel a little bit less tense, or maybe the relationships on the field better? How does that kind of attitude help turn into wins on the field?
Yeah, I think it helps our chemistry a lot because we all really like each other on and off the field at all times. We've never really had any big disagreements at all. And it just makes the game a lot more enjoyable for all of us.
When you get to the state tournament, you can make a run like that. What is it like to play in a third place game? And I know the ultimate goal is obviously to win a state title. So when you lose in the semis and still get to play one more game the next day, what is kind of the energy like for a game like that where it's not for the title, but there's still something to play for?
That whole game was just a big scramble because everyone was so exhausted. We had the game the previous night, and then everyone had to sleep borderline 8 hours, wake up the next day, and then drive to the game. So you could tell everyone was exhausted, but they still all really wanted it, and everyone was trying hard.
We're talking to David Skinner, our Wendy's Athlete of the Week from Shawnee Heights Soccer, a junior for the T-Birds who, as I mentioned, had a phenomenal season, was named all-conference as a junior at defenseman. David, take me through your season a little bit. Give me an analyzation, if you will, of how you think you played over the course of the year that ended up in that individual honor at the end of the regular season.
I think it was just consistency for most of the season because I played all of the games that I started in, and I pretty much didn't sub out for most of them. And then just working with our back line, we were probably almost as solid as the back line last year with all seniors. And we just worked together really well the whole season, and I think we only conceded like 25 goals.
How has your role changed over time when you go from having a team that was so senior laden last year and you lose so many guys to this season when you said you have more sophomores and juniors? How did your role, not just as a player on the field, but as kind of a team leader, change from last season to this season?
It was completely different this season because last year I wasn't even starting varsity. I was benched for almost the entire season. And so going from last season to this season, I went from someone that looked up to all the seniors and had them as examples, and now I had to take a leadership role with more younger kids on the team.
We're talking to David Skinner. He is our Wendy's Athlete of the Week, a junior from Shawnee Heights Soccer, an all-UKC first-team pick this season at defenseman. David, when you look back on the season you just went through, what were some of your goals during this past offseason, which I know was crazy for everybody? What was it like when you were trying to plan goals for the year individually or team-wise, and how do you think you did in succeeding in those goals?
I think our biggest goal coming into this season was just to get back to state. And with all of these new players, it wasn't really expected for us to go as far as we did, but our coach did a good job of bringing us all together, and we ended up getting that done. And I think another big goal was just to enjoy the season as much as we possibly could. And we certainly did that. And with COVID and everything, we weren't expected to get to play as many games as we did. A lot of teams like Turner in our league only ended up playing 7, and we ended up getting 20 games in, including the postseason.
When you look ahead now to your future, because you've got one more year at Shawnee Heights when it'll be your senior year, What are some of your goals for the future, whether it is get back to state next season, maybe play soccer at the next level? When you look ahead, what are some of your future goals?
I think next year I want to aim for getting back to state, and then I want to try and beat our record that we got this year and get at least second place. And then try and get first team all conference again, see if I can get on the all state team. And then I just want to try and lead the team as best as I can as a senior next year and set a good example.
Well, he set a great example on the pitch this season. David Skinner is our guest, our Wendy's Athlete of the Week. Finishes first team All United Kansas Conference as a junior at defenseman. David, thank you so much for taking some time for us, and congrats on the third place finish at state.
Thank you.